earlier session, we were discussing about like how to create a custom application with a custom navigation, isn't it? And we also created a new object called invoice, and we navigated back to the setup, and we also created a custom tab for invoices, and we can able to see that new, I mean, we can able to add a new object, right? So what today we'll be doing, it's not like if we can see in the new invoices, we don't have any extra fields to enter, right? We have only one auto number field, rest all is blank. So now the expectation from here is we'll be modifying, I mean, we'll be doing some columns, nothing but we'll be going to add a few fields to the invoices. And it's not just adding a fields, we'll also create a relationship with the account in a way that, hey, whenever I wanted to create my invoice, remember this point, understand the scenario here is whenever as a user I wanted to create an invoice, I my account is always required. My account is always required, right? So what business is saying, hey, at any point of time, invoices should have always an account selected. Clear? Yeah. So how can we do that? So every configurations, or if you want to manage anything as administrative, you have to navigate back to setup. In setup, which one you are trying to modify? Your invoices, which is an object. So you need to go to object manager, and then you need to look for a invoice. Either you can scroll down, or the best easy option is you can also search whatever object you needed. Invoice. In invoice, what we are expecting, we are trying to add a new columns, nothing but a new fields in Salesforce terminology. If you are talking about a proper database, then that will be columns. If you are talking about a object modeling of Salesforce, then we'll be saying that fields and relationships, nothing but a custom fields, nothing but a custom fields. If you come back, if you can click new, if you click new, now I'll say we have different types of data types. In that one, I'll be discussing now. We have two types of relationships here, lookup and master detail relationship. Lookup and master detail relationship. What he is saying here, create a relationship that links this object to other object. The relationship will allows user to click on a lookup icon to select the value from a populated list. The other object is a source of the value in the register. Here, other object in the sense the other can be account, contact, or any other Salesforce objects we got created. But this relationship, the lookup relationship, is an optional relationship. This is not a required relationship. This is an optional relationship. And we also have the same scenario for master detail. What it is saying? Yeah. Create a special type of parent-child relationship between this object, the child or detail, and the other object, the parent or the master. The relationship will allows users. The relationship field is required on all detailed records. You can see the relationship is required on all detailed records. The ownership and the sharing of the record are determined by master. I mean, there will be no separate owner for the child records. It will be always a parent record. So I'll show you one example here. If I go to Prism invoices, if I can go my existing invoice, I can see the record owner, right? I can able to see a field called record owner Lakshmi Deepak. If I implement a master detail relationship, I mean parent-child relationship between the object, automatically this object parent will be the this one. So there will be no separate owner field for the child records. Clear? Now you can go back and I'll try to create a master detailer. Now the problem here you can see there is a persistent problem. We have an existing record, isn't it, in the system, right? We already have one invoice and I'm trying to create a master detail now. Now what I'll be getting an error saying that, hey, it is an existing object and which also have a records in it. So you will not able to create a master detail relationship directly. You will not able to create a master detail relationship directly when the object is having any existing records. Here we have one existing record. It means you are not allowed to create as per the Salesforce rules. Now we'll try to create and we'll see that error. So I'm choosing my master detail relationship. I'm continuing it. I'm selecting which object I need to select. My invoice is a child and my parent is account. Next, and I can say account. It's okay. Now you can see sharing. So for now, you can leave this topic sharing settings. We'll discuss this more when we are discussing about sharing rules, configuration, data security model. And here there is an option called allow reparenting. What it is saying, child records can be reparented to the other parent records after they created. What it means, hey, let's say you created one invoice now, and later you realize, hey, I selected my wrong account for an invoice. Can I able to update now? If you want to do those updates, if you need that flexibility, then you need to do a checkbox check. Then only you can able to re-update your parents. Clear? Any question to this checkbox? Okay, sounds good. And next, see next. So I wanted skipped one steps called filter settings. We'll come back to this point again. So I am going next. I'm saving it. What is the error? Cannot create a master detail. What it is saying here? You can create a new master detail relationship on an existing custom object if the records already exist. You must first create a lookup relationship, populate the lookup field with the data in all records, and then change the relationship type to master. What it is saying here? You cannot create a new master detail relationship on an existing custom object if already exists. As we mentioned, right, we have an invoice which is an existing object. In that, we already have one record. So then we can able to do it. So now what's the process? Now go back to the previous step. Now I'll create my new field and I'll also choose account only. Now this time I'll create my lookup first and then I'll type and I'll update my to master detail. Lookup, next, account, next. Now what it is saying, whether this field is required, this is like a field required. You can leave this option for now. Let's say if I delete my parent, let's say if I delete my account, do I need to delete my invoices or do I need to, what we can say, just eliminate that, make a blank of account and then leave the invoices as it is. So now I'll say the clear the value of the field you cannot add. So next, and I'll say visible for now whenever you are creating any field. So try to provide visible for all field level security for users because we didn't discuss red profile securities. Until we discuss, you can choose always visible in this case. Next, and I add it to my invoice layout save. Now what we need to do as the next step, what system is saying, you have to populate the lookup value. You have to populate the lookup value. Now I'll say refresh. We got account created. We got account, right? So edit it and then tag your account. So I'm selecting present March 2021. So this is the account you populated. And then what is Salesforce told us, hey, once you populate your data and come back to the object manager and update the field to master detail. So I'll go and edit my lookup field account and I'll change my field type to master detail relationship. Next, child can be reparented. I'm choosing it and I saved it. Now if I go back, if I want to create a new field, this is not refreshed. There is another issue with Salesforce. Like, 1 minute. Inspect, empty cache and hard reload. This is the cache issue. So let it get cache go off. New. Wait. This is cache is persistent. So let me make you. Okay. I'll go and disable my cache first. Session settings. And I can disable my persistent loading of cache. So HTTP third party, where is cache settings? Enable secure and persistent browser cache for improved performance. Let me disable it. Refresh. Invoices. New. Now we got it. Salesforce have another big problem called cache settings. So whenever you are working, I recommend it's not ideally needed. If you are feeling like your browser is making too much of cache, you can go back to session settings and you can disable this. Where is session settings? And you can disable this enable secure and persistent browser caching. Enable secure and browser persistence caching. This one. Clear? So now, but we don't do this in production. It will create like a too much of low performance in production. So for a developer, it might be useful. For real time, I mean, actual users, they don't need to care about like code changes. So we can leave as it is in production. So now we got like a this one, and let me say because it is an invoice, right? So invoices, what other fields will be having in invoices? What other field will be having in invoices? Will be having like a payment, due date, status, isn't it? Start date, end date, and number of days overdue, all this stuff, isn't it? So let me create one more new field called total amount. So what is the field that I need to choose here? Currency. You will be having currency. Next, I'll say total invoice amount. I'll say instead of 8, I'll say 10 comma 3, or I'll say 2. So 10 digit is the length and point 2 are decimals. The total length of the field always should be 18 characters. Like either you can keep directly 18 here, or now the total length is 16 plus 2. Now the total length of this field is 10 plus 2, 12. So the maximum currency field that you can able to enter in Salesforce is 18 characters. Okay. And I'll say whether always this field is required to save a record. I'll say yes, always I need this value. This is your current invoice bill for the date. So this is a help text in the sense when user goes in the field, he will get a some eye icon here. On over this, he will get to know this text. This is like a tip, tool tips. And I'll say next, save, refresh it. Now you can see tooltip, right? This is your current invoice billed for the due date. This is what I mentioned. Okay. So the same way, I need to create a multiple field. The problem here is, right, I don't want to do this legacy job by growing free fields and I'll need to create again. What I can do, I'll go to my object manager. We have a schema builder. There is a concept called schema builder where you can create multiple fields in this really quickly. I mean, you can make field creation too much fast. So clear all for a first time when you are in the system and choose whatever object you needed. Invoice. Click on auto layout. You'll get the field. Click on elements. Click on elements. Then I need a date field now. Drag and drop the element. It will ask what date field you need. Build date. Save. So I need like a due date also. Due date. Save. And what else? Status. I would be needed a status. Nothing but your pick list. You can drag and drop your pick list and I can say status. See, stop me if I am going fast, guys. Values, I can say fully paid, partially paid, no update, no paid, unpaid. I can say due bill. Display values alphabetical order, not in the order I entered. Use first value as the default. I don't want to do any of this. So here what we entered three fields: fully paid, partially paid, due, or bill. Let's say my first value I'll always say bill. Whenever I'm creating invoices, bill. So I'm saving it. So now if I go back here, do I get those fields here? I added from a schema builder. I added from a schema builder. So these fields are not being added to page layouts. These fields are not being added to the invoices. So if we want to add those fields here, go back to your object manager and look into invoices. Invoices. Inside invoice, you will be seeing an option called page layouts. So whatever layout you are getting here, that is called page layouts. Here you can see a page layout called invoice layout. Go to the invoice layout and modify the changes whatever you needed. Like say I need a section. I'll say billing details. So this is my field and I'll say billing section. I'll say bill date and status or due date. And status I'll say information header. I'll say here and total invoice amount. Say now if I go to my layout, if I go to my invoices, I can see the details, right? The billing details, and I can see status, invoices, amount, isn't it? Any question till here, guys? Any quick response that would be appreciated? It's not just like invoice. So I want to know amount paid. I need another field called amount paid. So what I'll do, I'll create from here directly. If this is a single field, right? I don't want to create multiple fields anymore. So I'll create one field. I'll add it from here. I'll say amount currency. Next, and I'll say amount paid, and I'll say 10 and 2 is the characters, decimal places. I'll say next, visible to all. Next, save. Now you can see the layout is not gonna looks good. So amount paid is coming here. I'm just expected like a billing amount. So I need like a billing amount as a section name and I need to display my total invoice amount and amount paid. So if I want to do that, I need to go back to my page layouts and I need to modify my layout, add a new section to it, add a new section to it, and I'll say billing amounts. So now amount paid is here. Tax invoice and system information is something which is not displaying. I'll say detail page. Yep. See. So now refresh. Billing date and billing. Let's say my status is billed, and I'll say my billed date is first March, and due date I am saying as the 5th March, and invoice I'll say that 124 125, amount paid is 0, and I save. Now tell me whether this information invoice is like a green or it's like a red. Red in the sense whether it is overdue or it's not overdue. Whether this is overdue or it's like not overdue. I mean, still you have a time to pay. What is the due date we have? It's overdue, right? So we need to alert a system saying that, hey, wait, this has been overdue. So how can you do that? As a user, I'll not come back to this comes, oh, the billing date is 3/1 and the due is 3/5 on today's dates. I don't want to calculation all this stuff. As soon as I come system, I should have some field saying that, hey, this is overdue. So for that, we can create a formula fields. For that, in Salesforce, we can create a formula fields, calculation fields. You can see formula. There is an option called formula. In formula, you have two different types of return. You can return as a true or false, currency, date, date time, number, percentage, text, and any written format that you can choose from the uh, available option. Is overdue. So now is overdue is a checkbox, right? So I'll change checkbox. Next, what is the field? I'll click on advanced formulas. Here we need to check whether my due amount is greater than. If I'll say insert field, due date less than, we have a functions here, available functions. If you need, you can use it. But guys, it's not something like this is the topic which will gonna end up here. We'll be discussing these field creations again. So we're not spending much time here on doing this. Okay. From today, whatever we discuss in Salesforce, we have to write these formulas again and again, and we need to create a multiple fields so you'll get familiar used to it. So don't worry. So when my due date is less than today, so if it is less than today, it is a overdue, isn't it? If the due amount is less than today, which means it's got overdue. Yes or no? So if it is true, then I'll say false. So this is very simple. So generally how we write if condition, we'll write something like this, isn't it? And then we'll write else, right? This is the condition we write in a programmatically. Yes or no? Now what they did, they removed these brackets, they removed this black, and they add this condition, and then they add like a true condition, and then they add false condition. I have nothing but a else condition. If this condition satisfies, then it will execute this block of code. Here you don't want to return true. You can write another if condition. You can return whatever you wanted. But in our case, our return value should be true because we selected a return value of formula is checkbox, right? So I selected here true. So condition, true condition. If this is true, then it will return true. It means that overdue. If this is not true, then it will return false. So automatically this is not overdue. As soon as you're done with the formula, check your syntax. The invoice is overdue. Is there anything else I'm missing here? I'm just checking a due date. But remember, Due date remains same. Due date remains same. When billing status, if the amount is unpaid, if you have any balance amount paid equal to this one. Let's say in out of 125, I paid 126, 123. What is the due amount I have here? 2 rupees I have due, right? It means that still it is not paid, isn't it? So first, let's create one more field here. Let's save this for now. Next, we'll come back and we'll modify it. Save, save, and I'll create one more field called how much balance amount is left. Total invoice minus amount paid equal to amount left, right? Formula. Next, total balance amount. I'll say currency. This is a currency field, isn't it? Decimal places is 2. Next. And all you guys will pay your credit card bills exact number, or you will pay at least a single 1 paisa extra, or like 10 paisa extra. If it is like your bill is 1200.89 paisa. If you are paying from online, if you are doing like anyone does like 1205 or 210 some random numbers to credit card bills. I do that. Okay, I do that. So what I'll say, I'll not take my total invoice amount as my greater number. I'll always say amount paid is a greater number. So now why I am saying if total amount is minus 125, if I say 123, if I subtract from total invoice amount to amount paid, what is the results I'll get? Minus plus value, right? Plus value is something you have already in your account. If it is minus value, then it shows that you are debt with some amount of rupees, right? Visibility. I'm talking about visibility. If you feel the system, if it is like a plus value, you'll say, "Oh, I have a plus value. It's okay." If it is a negative, you'll say, "Oh, this invoice have a negative." You feel that. See, right? The perception over understanding is different. The same thing. So here I'll consider my amount paid will be a highest value, and I'll say total invoice amount will be a lowest value. So what I do, I subtract total invoice amount from the amount paid. If it is amount paid is greater than, I'll get a plus value. If it is less than total invoice, I'll get a negative value. The impression will always write amount paid minus total invoice amount. Total invoice amount, insert when value is negative means invoice customer is over to pay, else he paid extra, need to be adjusted in next payment. Right? If you paid extra, credit card people did not say, "Hey, you paid extra, it's okay, we'll take it, everything. I'll not accept it. They need to adjust in my next bill cycle." Isn't it? So we have to calculate that. So now if I refresh it, reload, what is the balance amount I have? 125 rupees. But the problem here is, this is okay. Let's say if the due amount is, if the due date is 31st March. Now tell me, now is there any balance amount in this case? If the bill date is 31st March and due date is 31st, I mean March 31st, there will be no balance amount, right? Because bill got generated. Whether you paid or not paid, you need to consider after due date, isn't it? So now in this case, we need to check the due date is less than. So what we need to add an extra condition in this case, in this, let's say where is my due date balance amount, I'll edit it. I'll edit it. I'll add one more condition. What condition I need to add? Hey, whether my due date is already crossed, then only display it. Right? So for that, what we do, like before, if what is the field that we had called due date, right? due date less than today, then I have to display my value, else I have to display null. I'll say null. Check syntax. Right. If it is less than, then only I need to display. Else I need to say always a null. Save. Now go back and we'll see formula. Now is our expectation right? Right? There is no balance amount, isn't it? Now if I change my due date back to less than today, save. So you got your balance amount, right? So this is working as expected, isn't it? Now if it is like a 31st and I paid like 126 rupees. Now you can see balance amount is 1. Does he paid the amount or not? Within the due date he might have paid. Now whether this is overdue, whether this field is overdue, is this overdue or it's not overdue for this billing cycle you can see. So total invoice I already paid. It should not be overdue. So we need to update this formula also, isn't it? How we can update? So whether if my balance amount is greater than less than 0. If my balance amount is less than 0, then I need to throw error, right? I mean, I should not display it. Clear? But the problem here is, if you can see in the bill due date, in the balance amount, if it is paid, if it is properly paid, if it is properly paid, then what we are doing, we are not sending as a 0, isn't it? We are assigning it as a blank value, right? So technically, if you do this way, whether it is possible, so you have to check two things, whether your bill due date is less than today and balance amount is less than minus 1, I mean less than 0, then you need to show it is overdue. There are two conditions to check a overdue. First thing you need to check a date, and then second thing you need to check, hey, whether my balance amount is less than, and you need to use and. So to use and, you have to write and. So if you are from any background of engineering or computer science, we might have run like 1 and 0 equal to what's the value? What is the, yeah, true and false equal to true and false. It would be 1 and 0 is 0. So in true condition, everything should be true if we want to return as a true. Any one thing got false, it means that it's a false. Now the same thing here, logic 1 and logic 2 equal to, if the logic 1 is true and logic 2 is true, then you will get logic true. The same thing in Salesforce, it was little modified saying that logic 1 comma logic 2. Instead of keeping in and in between, we use and then we'll pass a logics as a comma separated value. That's what we're doing. This is my first logic, and my second logic I'll be doing here called bill date balance amount insert less than 0, right? And I'll check my conditions. No errors. Save. Go back. Refresh. This is not overdue, right? That's what it means, isn't it? If I can say this is 120, then it is overdue. Getting updated properly. Page layouts, and I'll say invoice layout, and I'll say add one more section. Invoice status. I'll say invoice status. I'll say is overdue balance amount. I can also add a blank space just to it so that I can keep the field as in a inline instead of adding it at top always. Any questions still here? Any question?